Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome. Today is 27th September 2024, Friday. And today we gathered here to discuss on the final chapter. Yes, Master Jirusan. It's heavy rain also. Here also heavy rain. All right. So today we are already at the final chapter, chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita. Just imagine how fast the time have passed, and I believe that this was right the best of your 18 days in your life. Okay. In fact, I felt the same thing, so exciting and so interesting journey that I had with all of you here today. And of course, the new session is starting on 7th October. Okay. So anyway, before we start our discussion on chapter 18, let's do the invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swamiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kadadamadaya Nagaragrama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachari Starine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshapana Vida Vidayitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Viknana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namustute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruda Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Sakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Vir Baba Bhumi Stumni Dasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannataya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Se Namaha Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Jayatam Suratau Pangur Mama Manda Matirgati Mat Sarvasva Padam Boja Radha Madana Mohanau Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastau Srimat Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prishtalibi Sevya Manosmarami Sriman Rasarasarambi Vamsivata Tatastita Karshan Venusvanir Gopir Gopinataya Sri Estuna Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayen Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki Hari Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I
Yes.
just want to know the last verse of your prayer regarding, you are saying something about the prayers of the Bhagavad Gita, right? We are chanting the
Uh-huh.
Bhagavad. Is it that? The sloka just now you were chanting, the last
Which
part.
one?
The
Nasta
last
praise for
part where
Padresova.
the last part where you say Narayana, and then after the Vasudeva, and then you see the
Narayanam
last part.
namaskritya naram
Uh,
chaiva Vyasam tat.
Saraswati, and then the Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yeah, that is
The
a
meaning.
praise from Srimad Bhagavatam.
So it is there in the book?
No, it's not that.
It's
It
not
is
there.
it is the invocation prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay. Invocation means before you read the Bhagavad Gita, you say that prayer.
Yeah,
Bhagavad.
you also can say that for Bhagavad Gita and also for Bhagavatam. Later, I'll share
Okay.
that the verses in the group.
So you just tell us which is the verse that we can do a small prayer. That the means is the last one.
The prayer, if you open your
Uh.
book, Bhagavad Gita,
Uh-huh.
if you look at the introduction, the last page of the introduction, you can see the prayers there.
Last part of the introduction.
Yeah. The last
Verse,
part of the introduction.
verse, last part.
Not verse, the introduction.
Yes. Oh, introduction.
Hey, no. Not the last part. Sorry. Let me see. The last part is the Guru Parampara. You see the first part, introduction. Page 1, introduction.
Page 1.
Okay. You see then, okay.
Yes.
The prayers are there with the meaning.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you,
for all of you for joining us today. So today we have passed through 18 days. We have went through that studying of the Gita in what you call in a summary. Okay, this is whatever that you have heard and learned from here. It is not the ultimate thing, all right, because we are only speaking on summary. So what you are expected to do is to go through the chapter again and also to study the verse and especially the purport. The purport is the thing that what Prabhupada is giving what they call explanation on the meaning or in the spirit of the verse, all right? So it's very, very important. And if you have noticed that we didn't follow that exactly every verse, I just took, Anadi Jagannath Prabhu just took some of the important verses, and I also added some verses, and we made it in such a way that it's a flow of presentation. Okay. The most important, okay, what you should understand in that particular chapter, that's what we presented. Okay. But the most important part is you have to sit and study your Gita. So this is just a summary that whenever you study your Gita, you remember what you have learned in this class. All right. So as you see that a final recap. So we have been going on a journey from chapter 1. In chapter 1, what happened? Arjuna was upset. He doesn't want to fight with his relations. And chapter 2, Krishna says how this kind of things has come into you. So what happened? He summarized the entire Gita. Or in other words, chapter 2 is considered what they call contents. All right. He says that the title is the contents of Gita summarized. The entire thing, what are you going to speak in the entire Gita was summarized in chapter 2. Then we came to chapter 3. We studied about Karma Yoga, that you do your job without expecting any result for the peace of mind. Then after that, chapter 4, we understood, we discussed on transcendental knowledge. And chapter 5, Karma Yoga, that because in any action that we do, there will be some result. All right. There's nothing that we do, there's no result. Okay. When you mop the floor, the result is clean floor. Right? When you clean if you wash the plate, that's the result is the clean plate. Okay. So what Krishna says, the result of your activity, whatever it is, just offer it to me. Okay, that was chapter 5. And chapter 6, he spoke on Dhyana Yoga because Arjuna was telling he want to go and meditate. Then he explained what is what they call Dhyana Yoga is all about. Okay. Then came to chapter 7. Okay, that is a confidential part of the knowledge. Okay, we studied on knowledge of the absolute. And chapter 8, attaining the supreme. And in that chapter 8, we understood that we could bypass step by step. We could bypass the transcendental knowledge or the Jnana Yoga and also Dhyana, the meditation process, all right? Because there's a ladder, we could bypass this, and from where you are, you can straightaway jump to the highest form of yoga, which is called Bhakti Yoga. Then in chapter 9, we spoke on the most confidential knowledge. Then came chapter 10, we studied on the absolute, the opulence of the absolute. Chapter 11, the universal form. Chapter 12, the devotional service. After Arjuna sees the universal form, he'll be shaken, right? He'll be so scared. Then he will just explain, okay, how you could attain that perfection is by true devotional service in chapter 12. And chapter 13, we discussed on nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. Chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. Okay, the three modes of that means we are all under the spell of these three modes of material nature. Okay. A mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And 15, we discuss on yoga of the supreme person. 16, the differentiates, all right, the divine and the demoniac nature. Okay, what is divine nature and what is demonic nature? And Arjuna Krishna will be explaining. I've already spoke to you all the divine nature, and he went in detail in demoniac nature. Okay, and chapter 17, that's 2 days ago, we spoke on the divisions of faith. All right, so in what type of faith? There are so many faith out there, right? So according to our faith, or according to our mode of nature, we will be in certain kinds of religious practice. Okay, so today, chapter 18, we are coming to the conclusion, which is called the perfection of renunciation. Okay, what is that perfection of renunciation? Or in Tamil, we call Tyagam. Renunciation means Tyagam. So how we can achieve the perfection? That's the conclusion that Krishna is going to speak today. So Krishna explains the meaning of renunciation and the effects of the modes of nature on human consciousness and activity. He explains Brahman, realization, the glories of Bhagavad Gita, and the ultimate conclusion of the Gita. The highest path of religion is absolute, unconditional, loving surrender unto Lord Krishna, which frees one from all sins, brings one to complete enlightenment, and enable one to return to Krishna's eternal abode. So that is the thing that we're going to discuss today. But before that, I would like to share with you a small contemplation. Okay, if you see here, this is Bhagavad Gita 9.2. Okay, the title 9.2 is what? The confidential knowledge. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. Raja Vidya means king of knowledge. Raja Guhya means is a king of secret. It's a most secret thing, right? Pavitram. Pavitra means very pure. Pure. Idam. Uttamam. Uttamam means pure devotional service. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam. Susukam Kartum Abhyayam. Wow, the big thunder. All right. So now, the translation is, this knowledge is being the king of education, the most secret of all secret. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and is joyfully to perform. So especially when you look at the purport, okay, there's a purport here, but I would like to contemplate on this purport. This purport we were discussing in our Namahat center yesterday. All right. Now let's look at this. This is the statement from Padma Purana. All right. What is Padma Purana? The discussion between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, Padma Devi, Padmavati. So this is the thing that they were discussing. All right. And they were discussing, the statement is confirmed in Padma Purana. What is that? What they confirmed in their conversation? What confirmation they came up to? Let's look like this. Aprarabdha palang papam. Okay, do you all understand what is prarabdha? Do you all remember what is prarabdha? Anyone?
The karma. Is it prapta karma?
Yes. What karma is that? What is prarabdha karma means?
What Sankita karma, prapta karma, forgot it. Prapta
Very
karma.
good. You saw it from my class, my recording?
No, I always come across there's three prapta karma,
Yes.
sangita karma, and
Sanchita karma
sachita
and Kutta
karma.
karma.
Sorry,
Okay. So Kutta karma.
kutta karma.
Okay. Prarabdha karma means the karma that we are enjoying and suffering from that has been accumulated from previous birth. All right. From all the time immemorial, all that karma that we have acquired, we call prarabdha karma. So today we are enjoying and suffering because of our previous birth action, previous birth karma, prarabdha karma. Okay. So now what does it mean? Aprarabdha. Aprarabdha means when there's an A in front, destroy. Prarabdha karma. Aprarabdha means it is no longer this thing. Palam. Palang means the fruitive action, the result. And what? Papam. What is papam means? Papam means sin. Papam means sin. Then second is kutam. What is kutam means? Kutam means the karma that we have been accumulating in this current birth. Where do we find the Kutta karma? In your palm. When you see the palm, what are the things that you're going to destine? All right. Just like, for instance, you buy all the vegetables and you keep in the fridge. Say you run a restaurant, you buy all the vegetables and keep in the fridge. All varieties of food, all the vegetables are prepared. Then you're going and showing the menu. All right. And they ask, what do you want? All right. What do you like to have? And I go through the menu. I said, well, I like to have maybe cha kway teow, fried kway teow. Okay, fair enough. So that means they go and get the thing. They take all the ingredient to make a fried kway teow and they start to prepare. So Kutta karma means is the menu that what you're going to enjoy and suffer from your prarabdha karma. Are you all following me on this? Anyone confused? Okay, so no one is confused, huh? All right. So Kutta karma means the one that what is going to be presented to you. Okay, what are you going to enjoy? What are you going to eat for maybe for the next 1 month? Or maybe for the next. That's why you see your palm, always your line is changing. All right. You see that Kutta karma in your palm. All right. So now Kutam bijam. Bijam means what? Bijam means seed. Okay. All that karma is in the form of a seed. Okay. Palun mukam. Kramenaiva praliyeta. Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam. Lord Shiva says, Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam. What does it mean? It means for those who are engaged in devotional service, for those who are engaged in devotional service. Okay. Okay. For those who are engaged in devotional service, okay, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all sinful reactions, whether fructified. What is fructified means? The one in Kutta karma, the one that has been fructified. See, all that karma is in the form of seed. All right. Now, when we look in our warehouse, we got millions and millions of seeds waiting. So it's all coming batch by batch. It's coming all batch by batch. Are you all following me on this? All right. Say something. Do you all understand?
Yes, Jay.
All right. Okay, good. So now all our karma is all in a big gudang, and where the karma come, the one that in front is getting cleared first, and back is getting filled up. So all the things that you have done maybe in 2 birth, 3 birth, or maybe 100, 10, 20 birth before is getting cleared now. All right. So that means how the thing cleared. They take out the seed will start to fructify. The seed will break and it start to grow. All right. So there's a study. And once the thing become a tree that is full blown, that means it's fully grown. That's when we suffer the consequences. So first we start something. When they start growing, we just feel little. When the thing grown, we fully suffer or enjoy the consequences of our previous birth karma. Then, of course, the tree get cut off. Then another seed will come and start to grow. Like that, we are enjoying and suffering. So what Prabhupada says here, all sinful reaction, whether fructified, whether it's already grown, the tree has grown and start to produce fruit. Okay. Kutam bijam palon mukam. Palon means what? Palon means what? It's a fruit. In Tamil, we call what palam, right? So palun, palan, palan adeyirudu, right? So it's getting fructified. Whether it's fructified or in the stock. What is stock means? Prarabdha. It's keep in the stock. Or in the form of seed. What is that? Bijam. Bijam means seed. All right. See what happened. Huh? This is all you must really, really, really look into it. Gradually vanish. Can you see that? Apravrabdak palang papam kutang bijam palonmukam kramenaiva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. For those who engage in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all sinful reactions, whether fructified in stock or in the form of seed, gradually will vanish. Okay. So, and who says that? Lord Shiva in Padma Puran. All right. So we should take it. All right. And therefore, the purifying, all right. Therefore, what is continue? Therefore, the purifying potency of devotional service is very strong. When we are engaging in devotional service like chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita for a start, all right? If you're just going to maintain this rest of your life, it's still no problem. By chant devotional service, that means by chanting Hare Krishna, by reading Bhagavad Gita very seriously, very studies this thing, or you like to engage your things like through monetary engagement, or you come and service in the temple, all right, or just let's go out and talk to people. Why? We will discuss that in chapter 18. What is the advantage of talking to people about this knowledge? All right. So it is very strong. It's very strong. And that's why it's called as Pavitram Uttamam. Pavitra means purest. Uttama means transcendental. It is transcendentally pure. Okay. It's so transcendental. Uttama. Pavitra means like see, I'm wearing this yellow thing. This is called Pavitra. Before we do class or what, we just wear this because it creates, sometimes when you do yagya, they tie something on the like a ring, they put a ring on your finger, before you do yagya. That is Pavitra. So anything that you take from your hand becomes pure. All right. So like that. So that means it's Pavitra. Pavitra means extremely pure. No, it's not tainted at all. And Uttama means transcendental. Okay. Now let's look at next one. When we follow this, okay. Now let's look at this. Tamas. What is tamas? Okay, we talk about three guna. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So that means Sattvic means mode of goodness. Rajasic means mode of passion. Tamasic means mode of ignorance. So how to remember? We just see Sattvic, goodness. Rajasic, just think about king. He's always passionate. Take the fort and everything. So Rajasic. And this is Tamasic. Tamasic in the mode of this thing. So there was a country called Tamasic, right? Right? Singapore's old name is Tamasic. In Sanskrit, the old this thing. Because the place is total, because there's nothing. It's a useless piece of land. But of course, British found and made it into a port. It became one of the richest countries in the world. That's why the old name for that area is called Tamasic, because there's nothing there. All right, now anyway, Tamas. Tamas means what? Material world or darkness. All right. So this place is called Tamasic because you know why? By nature, this world is dark. By nature, it is dark. Okay. But when the sun arrives, it gives light. All right. It is just like you're going into the dark room. By nature, the room is dark. But when you on the torchlight, it just temporary illumination. Then after you got off the torchlight, it goes back to darkness. So that means this material world is actually dark place, dark area. But only the sun is giving. So the earth is sharing half of the earth 24 hours and 12 hours. They're sharing this, rotating. Right? It's just like you're doing a barbecue or what they call, you take the corn, you just like a grill. Grill. Or they call if you go to Pasamalam, you can see, they rotate the thing. So you just put the corn, the thing is like keep spinning and there's a fire at the bottom. So it's cooking like that. So the earth is spinning and the sun is standing there. and illuminating the earth. Right? And Uttama means that which is transcendental to material activities. That means what? Transcendental to material activities means that is beyond the material activities. So when you're going to engage your job and your whatever things in service of Krishna, everything becomes devotional service. So devotional activities. So now again, it's mentioned devotional activities never to be considered material. Although sometimes it appears to be devotee, okay, all right. Sometimes it looks like appears that devotees are engaged in just like ordinary men. Sometimes you see the devotees are just like ordinary. It looks like just an ordinary kind of activity, but we must understand this is not considered material. All right. So one who can see the familiar with devotional service will know that they are not material activity. They are all spiritual and devotional, uncontaminated by material modes of nature. What does that mean? What is a material mode of nature? Goodness, passion, ignorance. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So these three is contaminating. And when you do devotional service, is beyond these three, beyond the goodness. And what is it beyond the goodness? Transcendental goodness. You know, the question that Prahlad Prabhu of Trinidad Tobago asked last week, 2 days ago, right? That's what we're going to discuss today. How that we can go beyond all these things. All right. So those who have this thing, please go through chapter 2, chapter 9, verse 2, purport. Study one by one. It is mind-blowing. Everything is basically given as a summary. Any questions? All right. So there's no question. Now we start with our program, with that contemplation. So, okay. So ISKCON Ipoh First Garden Center, together with ISKCON Malaysia, proudly presents Gita Gyan, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. This chapter has been divided into two, but I synchronized both into one. Okay. And let's take darshan from Sri Sri Nitai Gauranga, the beautiful Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Okay. So today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And also this program is inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, Governing Body Commission and also Spiritual Master. And also to my very dear God brother, His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu, of Bengaluru ISKCON Sheshadipuram, creator and brainchild of the Essence of Gita program worldwide. If at all there is some transformation happen to you, it is all by the grace of Anadi Jagannath Prabhu. I am just a presenter. I have nothing, but the way that he created this program was unbelievable. Okay. So let's look at this understanding of Gita. So the forgetful living entities or conditioned soul have, okay, the forgetful living entities. We are all in forgetfulness, right? Okay, the forgetful living entity is called the conditioned. What is that? Because we have gone through a different kind of conditioning. Okay, have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord. And they are engrossed in thinking of material activity. They are engrossed. Just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual sky. Just to transfer their thinking. Because if the man cannot stay without thinking. He have to think something. Even mad guys, crazy guys are thinking something. Right? But of course, their thinking went haywire. Right? So what Krishna then, just to transfer the thinking power to spiritual sky, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa has given a great number of Vedic literature. He has given a very great number, so many Vedic literature. First, he divides the Vedas into 4. That means formally the Veda is 1. All right, and it's huge. All right, so he divided into 4. Okay, then he explained them in Puranas. For less capable person, he wrote Mahabharata. Okay, that means for less capable, that means person who really cannot study, they just give Mahabharata, which is the ancient history. All right, in Mahabharata, there he is given Bhagavad Gita. So while you are going through the ancient history, you just put in Bhagavad Gita in between. While you are going through, you stumble upon Bhagavad Gita. That's the idea. Then all Vedic literature is summarized in Vedanta Sutra. And for future guidance, he gave the natural commentation of the Vedanta Sutra. Okay. So that means after he wrote all these Vedas, after he gave the first fifth Veda, after he compiled this Mahabharat, then what happened? He summarized the entire Veda. He summarized the entire Veda, and the summary is called Vedanta Sutra. Just like now we are doing that Gita again, the summary, right? Like that, the entire thing is summarized. Okay. And for future guidance, he gave a natural commentation of Vedanta Sutra. That means for the understanding, he even gave commentary. He commented. Okay. And that is called Srimad Bhagavatam. We must always engage our mind in reading this Vedic literature. Prabhupada says that. We should always engage our mind in reading this Vedic literature. Just as materialists engage in their mind reading newspaper, magazine, and so many materialistic literature. So we must transfer our reading to this literature, which are given to us by Vyasadeva. In that way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. Okay. That is the only way suggested by the Lord, and he guarantees the result. There is no doubt. Okay. So that means our this thing is our lifetime preparation. We are preparing a lifetime. Okay. It takes a lifetime preparation to answer the question at the final moment of our death. That's our final exam. So at that moment, what is your desire? Okay. A lifetime of learning and training and coaching and all these things. So at the moment, do you still have any other desire? You still want to remain here or not? How to find out that? If you have some material desire. If you have, Krishna says, well, you stay back and finish that desire and come back to me. He doesn't want you to take you halfway. He wants you to really come out of this material desire. Then you go to the spiritual world. All right. And Krishna, there's no doubt about it. So now let's look at Gita Mahatmya for today. What the Gita Mahatmya says, Jayate satatam sakyam sarva jiva ganai saha prarabdam bunjato vapi Gita vyasa ratasya cha. See, again, there's another word called prarabdam. Right? A person who is devoted in studying Gita, again, a person who is devoted in studying the Gita acquires a friendly disposition. He acquires a friendly disposition to all living entities, despite his accruing the reaction of his previous action. That means previous action means prarabdha. That means despite his accruing the reaction of his previous action in this world. Say a person who are suffering, who are going through so much of this thing in the previous birth. I mean, is suffering or enjoying the prarabdha karma, the karma that is from previous birth, or even in this birth itself. Say the person can be a very nasty person, or he can be a terrible person. But when a person is devoted in studying the Gita, he acquires a friendly disposition. Okay, he'll be a very friendly, not only to human, but to all living beings. All right. I give you a good example. I think in the previous chapter I spoke. I think I didn't speak about this in this batch too. In Chennai, I mean, in this one part of India, there was an incident where a devotee was distributing book in a red area. He was distributing book in red area. And he saw one prostitute is calling customers, hey, come, hello, come. Then he saw the prostitute. Suddenly something, he just inspired. He went and sold a Bhagavad Gita to that prostitute. He gave a Bhagavad Gita to the prostitute and said, you have done so much of sin and you better read Bhagavad Gita. I don't know what and how he convinced that prostitute took the Gita. And where she read in a room in the brothel. How? In between her service. So when the customer comes, she serves the customer, and the customer go, she'll open the Bhagavad Gita and start reading. Then the new customer comes, just close, satisfy the customer and come back, open the Gita. Imagine in brothel, in that room, brothel, prostitution center. Right? So whenever she gets a monthly period, there's a few days she can't work, she sit and so whole day she devote to study Gita. By the time she finished the Gita, her life transformed. She went to the temple, and of course, she explained who is she and what she was. And after that, she started to do service. The devotees start to give her some service. And eventually, she started to perform some service. And through that understanding of Gita, the purification and do some service, she totally transformed into a brand new person. That means what? Her accruing of reaction of her previous action in the world. That means despite all whatever things that she have done, everything is removed. And now she became a first-class devotee. And a good devotee, want to give her protection, married her. And now both husband and wife doing a fantastic service in the temple. They are one of the iconic devotees. She's going around preaching and distributing books like crazy. Right? So that's the thing. That is the power of Bhagavad Gita. Okay? That's why I said, like some people ask, if I get my period, can I read Bhagavad Gita? What else can you ask for now? After telling this example, there's no anywhere, anyhow. That's why I say carry your Bhagavad Gita wherever you are. Keep it in your bag. Keep it, if you have a car, keep it in a glove box. Never leave your house without Bhagavad Gita. It's such a powerful thing. Whenever you have a time, whenever you're stuck in the jam, just take out and just open one verse and just reflect on it. And it's amazing, right? Okay. Now we are here. We are here with the chapter 18. The title of this chapter is Conclusion, the Perfection of Renunciation. All right. So let's look at 18.1. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna Vacha. That means Arjuna is asking, starting this thing. Sanya Sanyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam Ichchami Veditum Tyagasya Cha Hrishikesha Prattakeshi Nishudana. So what is the question he's asking? He says, Arjuna said, "O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation." Because at first he was talking about renunciation. Remember in chapter 1, he said, I want to be a sannyasi. I want to go to the jungle. I don't want this property. I don't want this kingdom. Let them enjoy. Let them kill me unharmed. Let them have it. I want to take sannyas. I just want to go. So now at last he's asking, after he went through all that
I
thing,
remember.
yeah, after he went through all that questioning and everything, okay, then in between he asked all this thing. Now he's coming to that thing of sannyasi. So after listening to this, then now Arjuna is saying, what is sannyasi? Yeah? All right. So he says, Sannyasa Mahabaho. Then Arjuna asked, "O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation." What is that purpose? Or tyaga. And of the renounced order of life, sannyasi. Okay. Tyaga and sannyasa. O killer of the Keshi demon, master of the senses. So 18.2, Krishna is start explaining. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamyanang Karmanang Nyasam Sanyasang Kavayo Vidu Sarva Karma Palatyagam Prahustyagam Vichakshanaha. So what Krishna is saying? The Supreme Person of Godhead said, giving up all activities that are based on material desire. Okay? Okay, now we must understand. So when people say, oh, okay, what is sannyasi? What is this? So you could as easily understand. So he says, giving up what? Activities that are based on material desire. Okay. So giving up activities based on material desire, what the great learned men say called renounced order of life, which is called sannyasa. So now you all understand what is sannyasi means? What is sannyasi means? Renouncing, giving up activities based on material desire. Am I clear?
Yes, Prabhu, clear.
Very good, very good. Okay. Now, but giving up and okay, now let me get another color so you can see the difference. Okay, now secondly is giving up results of activities, all activities, which is by giving up all activities, giving up all activities. Let me simply giving up all activities is the wise call, is called tyaga. Purida? In Tamil, we call tyaga pandrathu. Tyagam. All right. I got something. I just don't want it. I just give to my wife. Now you eat it. I tyagam pandran, you know. So, okay. Now, so there's two things we must understand. So the understanding is very, very important. That means this is number 1. Okay. Number 1. That is, number 1 is giving up activity which is material desire. Are you all following me on this?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, when you explained about the first part, like in the chapter 18, about Arjuna, Prabhu, are you
Mm,
listening?
yeah.
You mentioned about the chapter 1, right? Where he wants to become sannyasi. Arjun said
Yeah.
he wants to become sannyasi. And then after Sri Krishna explained about Dhyana Yoga, he was like, "Oh my God, I could even stop
Oh,
the
no,
wind."
no, no, no. No, you're wrong. That is, he said, at first he said, you want to be a renunciate. He wants to go to the jungle and meditate. You want to be a yogi.
Okay.
Krishna spoke about dhyana yoga. You want to be yogi? This is how you should do.
Okay, yeah.
That is different. Okay, now. So now when you look at this, okay, what we understand, okay, number one is giving up activities based on material desire, which is material desire we call as the sannyasi. So a sannyasi means the one who give up material desire. So how many
Oh,
types of desire do we have?
I think a lot. Spiritual desire is also a desire,
Yeah, lah,
right?
only
No.
two lah. Where got a lot? Either
Okay.
material or spiritual.
Okay.
Yes or not? So what
Yeah.
it says that you have a material desire, and second is you have a spiritual desire. So if you give up, if you give up the material desire, all right, this is called sannyasi. This is very important because I'm going to make a strong point about this later. Okay. Then when you talk about giving up what? All activities. That means all activity means what? I give up
Also
everything.
spiritual desire.
It's not mentioned. It's all activity means every activity. You're giving up
Okay. I
desire,
got
you're
that.
giving up your spiritual desire,
So,
you're
for
giving up.
example, if we do something, we don't expect the return coming to us.
No,
Instead,
that is different. That is different. This is different.
Okay.
Yeah, go through
Okay.
this thing, then you ask question. All right.
Okay.
So now giving up all activities means you are not performing anything. All right, you're not performing anything. So who are the people who giving up all activities? The yogi. You understand? Sri Ram?
Okay. Yeah.
Because they don't do anything. They give up
True.
everything. They give up the family, they give up even dress, they only wear the tree bark. They go and sit
Oh,
under the tree.
yeah. That's why Arjuna say like that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember.
So that means when you stop doing everything, is called tyaga. So this is the yogis are tyagis. And the sannyasi is the one who give up material desire only. All good?
Clear, Prabhu.
All right, great. Now, okay. Now let's look at 18.5. Okay.
Prabhuji,
So, yeah.
sannyasi, is it for married and not married? How to differentiate sannyasam? They take sannyasam?
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Brahmacharya, right, Prabhu?
I'm coming to that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
18.5. Yakna dana tapa karma natyajam karyam eva tat yakno danam tapas chaiva pavanani manishinam. Okay, what is 18.5? Krishna says. So now, actually what happened before I forgot to tell you. So Krishna is going to speak about sannyasam and tyaga in this chapter. Okay. Now let's look at this. 18.5. Yakna dana tapa karma. Yakna means what they call yagya. Dana, donation. Tapa, austerity. Karma, activity. Na tyajam karyam evatat. Yakno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. That means act of sacrifice, charity, and penance. What is penance? Sitting and meditating, standing in one leg, all this kind of severe austerity, they call penance, are not to be given up. So what is this? Not to be given up. They must be performed. All right. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even a great soul. So Krishna is starting like this. Are you all following me on this?
Yes, Prabhu.
So what Krishna says, that all this activity of doing sacrifice, that means doing the fire sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given. Like penance means like what? fasting on
Tapas.
Ekadasi, all these things are
All,
not,
okay.
not to be given up. They must be performed because sacrifice, charity, and penance purify. It's a purification process, even a great soul. Okay. Now, let's look at this. Renunciation. 18, that means from verse 7 to verse 9. All right. What is a renunciation in mode of goodness? Okay. Renunciation in mode of goodness means performing prescribed duty because it is ought to be done. That means goodness means what? You are doing your job. Yes, Mataji, Charan Lakshmi, you want to say something? Okay. Now, so now Krishna is explaining about the renunciation in the three mode. What happened renunciation in mode of goodness? That means you are performing prescribed duty, the duty that has been prescribed to you because it is ought to be done. But at the same time, renouncing all material association and all attachment to the fruit. That means you are doing your job, you are doing your duty, but not expecting any result is called renunciation. Because renunciation is without desire, material desire, right? And the renunciation mode of passion, what does that mean? Giving up prescribed duty as troublesome. Ayah, cannot lah. Troublesome and out of fear of bodily discomfort. Example, now I am planning for okay, this is a very typical thing. Like for instance, people are thinking twice about initiation. I'm following the four regulative principle. I'm chanting Hare Krishna and all these things, but I don't want to take initiation. Why? Because they find it very troublesome. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And also fear of bodily discomfort. Sometimes I have to do, because of that, I want to avoid that. It's in mode of passion. And renunciation mode of ignorance is giving up is prescribed duty due to illusion. That means, in other words, this is my job, this is my duty, but I just don't want to do it. All right. And I rather sit and sleep. Okay. This is in the mode of ignorance. All right. Now let's look at this. Why this thing is not going off? Okay. 18.12. Anistam ishtang mishrang cha. Anishtam ishtang mishrang cha. Trividang karmana palang. Bhavatya yaginang pretya. Natu sanyasinang kvachit. Anishtam ishtam mishrang cha. Trividang karmana palang. So karmana palang. Bhavatya yaginam pretya. Natu sanyasinam kvachit. So what does it mean? For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. What does this mean? So now we have to be really careful when we read this verse. For one who is not renounced, that means those who have not given up, renounce, they have not taken sannyasa, means the threefold fruit of action, which is number one is desirable. The thing I desire. Something is something that I don't desire. And number three, mixed of these two will follow after death. Okay, the idea will come to us after death. All right. But those who are in the renounced order, those who have already staying in renounced order of life, have no such result. For them, there's no such result to suffer or enjoy. So what does that mean? So shall we all come and let's take sannyas? How many of you want to take sannyas now? Sri Ram Swami, you want to take sannyasi or not?
I wish for it, Prabhu. Definitely.
You're just starting your life, want to take sannyasi. Right. So now we must understand this verse very clearly. What we have studied in 18.2, sannyasa means renounce of material desire. Tyaga means do nothing and stay idle. You all still remember that? So sannyasi means, that means I am not engaged, I am not affected by any sort of situation. Like just now, we studied 7 to 9, 18.7, verse 7 to 9. We say the three mode of nature of sannyasi or renunciate. How? The goodness is simply perform your duty, but not expecting any result. So when you are working, when you are performing your duty and you don't expect any result, and if there is any result, you offer it to Krishna and you take it as prasadam or sanctified or blessing, you are actually sannyasi. You do not need to take a saffron robes and be a sannyasi, you know. I become Paditatarna Goswami. No need to do that. I just simply engage myself in the service without expecting any kind of result. And if there's any result, I simply offer it to Krishna. So that means if I do that, there is something desirable or undesirable or mixed. I'm not going to get affected because I'm just simply doing as the matter of being a servant of Krishna. Do you all understand that? So sannyasi means you are changing your consciousness, you're spiritualizing all your activity. All right? Because sannyasi means this one who don't affect by material desire. Because now you are going into spiritual desire. And what is the spiritual desire? The desire of Krishna. What Krishna wants, you simply fulfill it. Are you all following me on this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Everyone? Any one of you are confused about this? You can put a thumbs up or whatever. I know that all of you are listening to me.
Prabhuji, I
Yeah.
want to ask, I've heard of the word sannyas before, and I had
Speak
friends-
louder.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
louder. Speak louder.
Yeah, Prabhuji, namaskar. I just have a question. I have come across my friends who have done sannyas, and for some reason they just don't do whatever they're supposed to do after taking the initiation. And also I've seen people who initiated and then they never do the service, but they live like a sannyas. They don't get married and
What
all
sannyasi is this? Where got sannyasi like that?
That's why I want
You're
to ask
talking about
Prabhuji.
I mean the duplicate sannyasis are basically from this from where, you know, from this movement. What Nityananda? You're talking about Nityananda group, where all the
No,
young girls are
Prabhuji.
initiated as sannyasi.
No. Another society, Prabhuji. Another, not
No,
Krishna,
see,
not
there's
Krishna.
a 4 divisions of Varna ashram. Varna and ashram.
Yeah.
Varna means the Varna means occupation. Ashram means spiritual hierarchy. So when you look at ashram, first you start as brahmachari. So a
Okay.
boy will remain as a celibate. Brahmachari means celibate.
Okay.
That means
Okay.
he remains at brahmachari until he's 25. After 25, he gets married. He accepts the second stage is called grihastha. Grihastha means married. A married man, married life. So grihastha means he have to live in grihastha life until his age of 50.
Oh, they
Alright?
have to get married. They have to get married, Prabhuji.
Up to them lah. If they don't want to get married, they're going to be a nista brahmachari. But of course, in Kali Yuga, it's encouraged to get married. Anyway,
Okay.
so until 50, you become a grihastha. Then from 50 onwards, you start to retire from family life. 50 to 55. When you see all your children are all grown up, they can have their own life. You take vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means what? Vana in real term, vana means forest. Prastha means dweller. But now we don't do that. Of course, in modern age, we don't go to the forest. The what they call? The forest ranger will chase you out. So now we are talking about vanaprastha means a retired life. So husband and wife will go and engage in devotional. That means they go to all the temples, they go and serve. They are free from family life.
So you have to do it. Then
After,
only you
one second. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
Then
Prabhuji.
after that, vanaprastha is done until age of 60, until 70, and 70 onwards, he has to go into renounce order. Renounce order means he have to cut all ties with family, children, and everything. He 100% concentrate in devotional service. That's called sannyasi. So sannyasi means they give you a renounce order. That means they will give you one stick and they give you one small pot, kamandulu, and your name will change into like Swamiji at the behind. You know, they'll call them as Swamiji. They carry a title of Swami or Goswami. So that is that process. So there's no such thing people can get initiated sannyasi before the age of 70, 60 like that, unless there's a special case.
Okay.
If there's a
okay.
special case, of course, they got that kind of natural kind of blessing. Like Adi Shankara became sannyasi age of what, 6 or 7. So that's all very rare case. You can't find it.
So
So
once you
sannyasam,
become, you will go in that level. You won't come back. That means you won't skip your duty. So there's no negative side. Nothing like that.
once you are sannyas means you are one-way ticket. That's it. You're gone.
Oh, okay, okay. This is the real. Okay, okay.
Yeah, this is the real thing.
Prabhu, is it sannyasi only for men?
Yes, sannyasi is only for men. The women cannot take sannyasam.
I
Right?
see.
Because you know
Okay.
why women cannot take sannyasi? The women has to be protected from all angle. When they were young, they're protected by the father. And after that, when they get married, they will be protected by the husband. And when they are old, they need to be protected by the son. Okay. So the women, because you see, the women, they have very high in emotion. Okay. See, like for instance, who was I think Kali asked that question, but anyway, Premanjani, do you go to
Yes.
any of your elderly house, your parents' house?
Yes, yes, I go, Prabhuji.
What do you call that place?
Grandparents' house, parents' house, grandparents' house,
Do you use
ancestors.
the no?
Uh,
You don't talk ancestor. Do you call grandparents or any specific name?
Pati's house,
Party.
Amma's
Why
house.
party? Why party? Why not tata? Why use the term grandmother? Why not grandfather?
Because he passed away already, and then
No.
Doesn't
it's
matter.
automatically Pati's house. It's not.
Even your grandparents still alive, you still call grandmother's house.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
Your
yeah.
your father might have worked so hard and built the house, but whenever you go, you just say, "I'm going to go to my mother's house."
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. I agree with you,
When
bro.
you're married, especially that's why, like I used to make fun of my wife. Say, "I want to go to mother's house." Hey, the house built by your father. Why are you calling mother? And she'll be wondering why. Because that's natural.
That
The
is how it
mother
is.
is a element. Even when she's young, when she's married, when she was married, she would be like, the child is nurtured by her, and even they get older, they all nurtured. That means the whole every kind of human being are nurtured by this feminine form of human being. The feminine form of human being are called mother. We have
So,
we got what 6 types of mother. We think the only mother that we have is the mother. No, we have 6 or 7, huh? 6 or 7. Yeah, we got 6 or 7 types of mother. Number 1,
Yeah, true, Prabhu.
first mother. The first mother is the mother that delivers you to this world. That's your first mother. Second mother is the nurse who receives you. When your mother is so sick and so tired after delivering you, she took care of you so nicely. She's the second mother, nurse. The third mother, all right, is the cow. Because if anything happens to the mother, we can go on living by the milk of the cow. So the mother is giving. So the milk is giving. The milk, see, the cow only take little bit of grass, and roughly it gives 10 liter of milk. And that 10 liter, the calf only can take half. The calf only can drink 5 liter of milk. But the cow is producing 10 liter of milk. And that extra 5 liter to give to the humanity. Every living entity, say if you find a stray cat, you kind of find a stray dog, right? Even you find anything stray out there or whatever, you just can feed cow's milk. She's a universal mother for all living entities, mother. For third is cow. Number 4, the mother of your guru. If you the wife of your guru, once you have a guru, if your guru is married, the wife of your guru is the 4th mother. The 5th mother is the wife of the king. The wife of the king, or whatever the leader that we have, she's the queen, is our 5th mother. And our 6th mother is the planet Earth that we are standing. So we have 6 types of mother. So it's not that we only have one type of mother. So we have 6 types of mother. So the mother means is always that nurture. That means whenever I come back home, I know my mom is at home. Whenever I go out, I know this Mother Earth is there to console me, right? Whenever I know this kind of motherly figure is there. Even how old is a person gets. That's why in our culture, in Vaishnava culture, in ISKCON, or in any Gaudiya Vaishnava culture, we call mother as Mataji. We call as Mataji. We call a young child as mother. We can call a young teenage girl as mother. Even we call young woman as mother. And any feminine form of human being, we call them as mother. And also there is another restriction, and it's also mentioned in Bible. In Bible, one of the 10 commandments, it says that looking at a woman in adulterous form, in a lusty form, is considered adultery. When you look at a girl, Fifi, oh, so pretty, so sexy, that is considered you've done adultery. Just by thinking of them, just by staring at them, is considered adultery. Can you imagine? It's such a terrible thing to look at mother in a very lusty way. And in our culture, in the Vedic culture, it says, other than your wife, every woman are mother. Other than your wife. All right? Other than your wife, you have to respect every woman as mother. And what is that mother figure? They are worshipable. But now when the culture went haywire, they are looking at girls and young women in a very lusty way. And that's when the rape and all these nonsense things happening. Because they've forgotten their culture. Because modernization, we are in a modern world. Modernization is degradation. We are degrading. We are not improving. Right? So since you asked that question, that's why the mother sannyasis cannot. Because you know why? Sannyasi means, example, like your father give you instruction, your mother give you love. So the job of a guru or sannyasi is to give you instruction. Because when Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, Krishna says, now you say, you are my guru. You give me instruction. Right? What happened? Can your mother give you instruction? Hey, don't do that. Ma, darling, mummy, what you're talking? Huh? Okay. Your father said, no, you cannot eat pizza because you're so fat. But your mother said, it's okay once in a while. That's the thing. That's what mother. So imagine if a mother becomes sannyasi. What will happen? The entire system will go haywire because sannyasi means 100% discipline. Absolute discipline way of life. You got it?
Yes,
yes,
Prabhuji.
Good. You asked a very good question.
Sashti Putri, they call it what? After 60th years of marriage,
That one I'm
the
not sure,
Sashti
Mataji.
Putri. That one
That
in
one I'm
Hare
not-
Krishna? No.
No. I don't know.
sannyasi.
I've not heard about it.
Okay. Sashti Putri.
So the man has to leave the house because after 60, the man is very irritating. The man is very annoying, right? In Tamil,
Yes.
also there's a saying, right? 40 நாய் குணம் 60 குணம்.
Yeah.
So when you talk about men will be very annoying after 60, 40. That's why I see there's so many men in old folks home. The less ladies, right? Because the man is always annoying. But your mother can be nagging and annoying, still she'll be very loving. The son will look after the mother so nicely. But when the father comes, the father and son will be north and south. Right? Whenever they come, they want to say, hi, Appa, how are you? Okay. Ma, how are you? Are you okay or not? Have you eaten or not? But not to the father. It's normal. So that's why men must renounce, must get out from the house after 60. Anyway, we are going out of the topic. And this is going to be a long topic. Please, we have to rush. Anyway, I don't want to rush. We go as slow as we can. All right. Okay. Now, let's look at 5 causes of action. But by the way, now it's already 8:35. Okay, we just do this, then we take a break. All right. Now, 5 causes of action, that is from Bhagavad Gita, text 13 to text 14. All right. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhame Sankhe kritanti proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam adhisthanam tata karta karanam cha pratak vidam vividas cha pratak chesta daivam chaivatra panchamam. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn this from me. That means what it says in Vedanta, in Vedas, it says there are 5 causes for accomplishment of all action. There's 5 ways, 5 causes that can accomplish all action. That is, number 1, the place of action. Okay, now I need to highlight this. Another interesting. Okay. The place of action. Let me see. Okay, I take this color blue. All right. So the place of action. All right. First thing, there are 5 causes of action. The place of action. Okay. The performer of that action through the various senses. All right. And many different endeavors. That means varieties of endeavors. And ultimately, Okay, ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factor of action. All right. Now, what does it mean? Let's discuss this. See now, he says a place of action. Where do we act now? Right now, we are not performing. We are communicating. Right? Where the communication? What are we using? The body. This is the place of action. Are you all following me on this? Place of action is the body. Do you all understand?
Yes, Jay.
Okay. So the place of action is the body. All right. And second is the performer, the one who performs it. The place of action is in this body. And I am performing it, the performer. And how I perform? Through various senses. So how can I perform? See, I got the thing. Okay, I want to perform. How am I performing to you? Through my mouth, through my vocal cord. Because that's one of the 5 working senses. Remember? What is the 5 working senses? Can anyone tell me? Uh-oh.
Ear, nose, eyes,
leg.
genital, anus.
No.
Hand,
5.
leg.
Exactly. Hand, leg.
Mouth, genital, anus. Eyes, ears.
No. That is your senses. Working senses. I'm talking about working senses.
Your mouth, your hands,
Mouth,
your anus and genital.
voice. That hand, the leg, and the voice. Working senses. All right, the anus and genital. All these are working senses. You all understand? The voice, the hand, the leg, the anus, and genital. These are all working senses. Okay? Hello? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. So that means we are working. So that means we are performing through various senses. Now I'm talking to you using my working senses called the throat, the voice. From the throat, the vibration and the tongue vibration with the combination of the music and everything, it comes into the word and transmits, and now you're listening. All right, through the senses. All right. How am I performing? Okay, first I'm performing. A place of action is the body. I'm performing using various senses and through many different endeavor. There are so many endeavors. Okay, there's so many way of I'm doing it, so many endeavors, right? So ultimately is the super soul. Ultimately is the super soul. Okay, these are the called 5 factors of action. Okay, now let's look at the 5 causes of action. All right. Wait, why is coming out all one shot? Okay, anyway, it's supposed to come one by one. Anyway, now what is that action? Number 1 is the performer. Okay. Number 1 is the performer. Okay. This is the performer number 1. Okay. And where we perform through different kinds of endeavor. Sorry. First is the, first there's okay, why it's all upside down already? Okay, never mind. It's supposed to go supposed to be that way, but now actually this way. Okay, first place of action. Where do we act? In the body. All right. And how we act? Using these various senses, like sense of voice, sense of leg, sense of, we are doing. And we do varieties of different kinds of endeavor. That means, for example, like now I want to go to temple. So what is an endeavor? All right. First, I have to get ready. Then I have to put tilak. Then I have to get into the car. Then I have to start the car. Then I have to drive the car. Then I reach the temple. I stop the car. Then I got down and walk into the temple. Then I pay obeisances. Then I start to look at Krishna, so beautiful form. Then after pay obeisance, then I take the mridanga. Then I start to sing. Then I glorify. You understand? Are you all understand this? So different kinds of endeavor. Okay. And the performer. Okay. The performer, I am the one performing. All right. And ultimately, all these actions, who controls? The super soul. The ultimate controller is the Paramatma that ultimately control everything. Okay? Are you all following me on this? So when you look at this verse here, 18.16, it says, one who thinks himself the doer, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors, is certainly not very intelligent. Is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. Bhagavad Gita 18.16. Okay? Anyone confused?
Who's the performer, Prabhu?
Performer is you are the performer.
If you say I, is it my body or soul?
Okay, now let me show you this. Now, okay, because this thing chart went haywire. Okay, now you are the performer, Prabhu.
My soul or my body, Prabhu?
Your body is only a place of action.
Yeah.
And you as a performing means you are the soul.
Yeah.
You are soul or body, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Are you soul or body?
Soul, Prabhu.
Okay, so you are the performer and you're performing in that body. So
Yeah.
performer is what, Prabhu?
Work done, Prabhu.
No, performer is what? Performer means
Yourself.
soul. Soul is the performer.
Yeah. Yourself, Prabhu.
Yes. So yourself means soul, right?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Okay, soul. Okay. Can you see the arrow, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay, I just make it even thicker. All right, now
It's
you
clear.
are the performer. You are the soul. Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu.
You are performing in that body. Place of action is the body.
Yeah.
You got it? And how you perform? You perform through various senses.
Yeah.
And how you perform? Through varieties of endeavor. Okay, varieties of endeavor. And who controls all these? The one who controls all these is the super soul. Okay, Prabhu?
Good, Prabhu.
So this is called action.
Yeah.
You got it, huh?
Yeah.
All right. I was just hoping to hear your voice. Now only heard you. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Okay. So now, okay, now it's already 8:45. Shall we take a short break? Just 2-3 minutes break? Because this, I'm telling you, this topic is going to be very interesting topic. I hope that you all can stay with me. All right. We may overshoot the time. I don't think so. We can finish by 9:30, maybe at least for extra 15 minutes. So please stay and let's discuss this topic. It's going to be a very fantastic topic and going to be very assuring topic. Okay. Now it's 8:45. Shall we just take 3 minutes? Is that okay?
Okay, Prabhu.
All right. All right. So
I'm so sorry.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Krishna.
It's okay.
Anyway, those who are listening to that recording, they miss the middle important part. Oh God. Thank you, Krishna.
You're welcome, Prabhu.
Anyway, those who are listening to the recording, I have missed at least few verses. So okay. So perform in illusion, ignorance. Okay. Oh my God. Again, I made in my chapter 1 also I made that mistake. The one whole entire thing, half of the chapter was not recorded. So anyway, so and in disregard of scriptural injunction, they don't care about anything. Without concern of future bondage, they don't care what is happening in the future. Today I'm making money. Today I make money. Today I enjoy. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is this thing, right? So what they say, yesterday was illusion. Yesterday was a past. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is the day I live to the fullest. You know, like tomorrow never comes or something like that, like James Bond movie, huh? Tomorrow never comes or something like that, right? So without concern for violence or distress caused by others. This is the karma in the mode of ignorance. That means there's no concern about violence or distress, right? They can go on killing and all this. They just can't be bothered. Okay, now, karta. Karta means worker. Karya karta. So, worker. Let's look at what is that worker in the mode of goodness. In verse 26 and 28 is mentioned. So, work in mode of goodness. Performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature or without false ego. That means they perform their duty without association with the modes of material nature. That means they are just beyond that. And without false ego. The most important, they just false ego. Thinks I am the doer, I am this, I am that. Without great determination and enthusiasm. With great determination and enthusiasm. See, whenever you do things without expectation, you tend to do your job better. All right? Because I got nothing to lose and I got nothing to favor you. Right? Oh, that means I'm looking for some kind of favor. So I did taja you, Oh, okay, okay. No. Because when I don't expect anything, I just can't be bothered. In my job, 100% in that 1 hour, I just give you 100%, something like that, right? Without wavering in success or failure. Because it's don't bother about success or failure. Oh, if I do this, will it be successful? No, just go on doing it. The mode of passion, attached to work and fruits of work. Desiring to enjoy those fruits. All right? That means you do things expecting some benefit. And sometimes they are very greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow. So they can be envious, they can be impure, and they are moved by joy and sorrow. And what is ignorance? Work against the injunction of scripture. Against the scripture. Very materialistic, obstinate, cheating and expert in insulting others, lazy, always morose and procrastinating. So these are the workers in the mode of ignorance. Sometimes, okay, later, what's the rush now? Right? There's still tomorrow. What's the rush now? So it's always procrastinate. Okay, now let's look at happiness. Happiness also, there's 3 modes. All right, what is the happiness in mode of goodness? Which in the beginning may be just like a poison, but the end is just like nectar. So sometimes when we do something, initially it looks like very tough, very hard. Because the happiness means, that means what? When you're in goodness means, that means where the happiness comes through the action, through that work, through that karma and all these things. So when you work things without expectation, you're just not bothered. So sometimes it looks like so hard to digest, right? When you see someone who are going to be a great favor to you, but you're doing without expectation. That means when a person is going to do a great favor to you, you're standing right in front of him and just being yourself. It's sometimes very tough, right? But when you do that, if that person is really mature enough, he will appreciate you. So that means, in other words, in the beginning, he's just like a poison. But the end is like nectar, which awakens to one's self-realization. And the happiness in mode of passion, which derive from contact with the sense of the object. That means derive from the contact of the sense and their senses and with the object. Okay, example. Now, I feel like buying a Mercedes Benz, right? So that's my passion. So when I purchase that Mercedes Benz, my senses with that object gives me so much of happiness. Yes, I own a Mercedes Benz, right? Which appears like nectar in first, but poison at the end. Yes, this is my own experience. Yes, I got a Mercedes Benz. After 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, I couldn't pay. My business started dwindling. Right? One time you send for service, cost you few thousand. Alamak. Then stop servicing the car. And the car start giving you problem. Then after that, I couldn't pay the installment. The bank are calling me. If you don't pay, I'm going to take your car away. That eventually, I sold the car in a very big loss. So what happened? At first, looked so happy, but end of the day, it becomes like poison. Right? So the mode of ignorance, what is that? Blind of self-realization. Like, look at this fella. High on drugs. All right, which delusion from beginning to the end, from the start till the end, they are delusion. All take drugs like that, which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion. That's happiness in ignorance. All right, now we are going to the part 2 of this chapter 18. Now let's look at this. We work not with our body actually, but with our mind and intelligence. Yes or not? All right, mind and intelligence is the one that doing everything, but it's performed through your body. Are you all following me on this?
Yes, Prabhu.
So, if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged, okay? Now, let's look at this. Okay. That means if the intelligence and the mind always engage, okay, in the thought of the Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. You understand? That's why we say we have to follow the RDC formula, because when we read and chant, we are purifying our intelligence and the mind. All right? Chanting purifies the mind. Reading Gita purifies the intelligence. So how do we express it? We express it through our senses. Are you all following me on this? Okay. So all this naturally, that means naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. Superficially, at least the activities of the senses remain the same, but the consciousness, that means, okay, now let's look at this. This is very interesting. So superficially, that means what superficially? I mean, in outlook, you know, when in a common look, it look like activities of the senses remain the same, right? That means I'm still taking the car, I'm driving the car, I'm meeting people, I'm giving the Bhagavad Gita, I'm talking. It looks like the activities are still the same. All right. But the difference is the consciousness is changed. Right? I'm going to work, I'm doing this work. You're still going to the work all in the morning, 8 o'clock, you're punching, you're going for a punch card. Now it's thumbprint, you just put your thumbprint. Okay. You are in the class, or you are in the, what do you call, you have already in the workplace. All right. It all looks the same. All right. But you go there, but your consciousness is different. I'm going there, I'm doing my work. So end of the day, I don't know, I'm going to get pay, and I'm going to use that pay. I'm going to certainly utilize it. Okay, I'm going to do this house program at least once a month. I'm going to invite a fellow devotees, come to my house and do some bhajan, kirtan, have nice association, have nice meal, prashadam. All right. Oh, okay, I'm going to get my salary end of the month. I'm going to take a salary and I'm just going to take and buy some Bhagavad Gita, and I'm going to give away Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita. All like that. So your activity is still the same, your senses working still the same, but your consciousness has changed. So the Bhagavad Gita teaches on how to absorb the mind and intelligence in the thought of the Lord. So far, so good? You all understand this? So it teaches how we can discern. So such absorption will enable one to where? Transfer himself to the kingdom of the Lord. So that consciousness is the one that going to either taking you to kingdom of God, taking you to heavenly kingdom, or to remain in this world, or go down to hell. All right. Your senses are just blind follower. Just like the car is blindly there. I just start the car, and the car is moving according to my desire. Suddenly I feel like I want to press the pedal and I want to accelerate, or I want to crawl with it. It's none of that car's concern. It's my decision as the driver. So the consciousness is the one that performs your body. So the body is like a vehicle. So that absorption enables one to transfer either to kingdom of God or this thing. If the mind engaged in Krishna's service, then his senses are automatically engaged in his service. This is the art, and this is also the secret of Bhagavad Gita. Total absorption in the thought of Sri Krishna. Okay? Now, let's move on. Okay, purification through prescribed duty of Varna Ashram. That means by the job of Varna Ashram means they indicate. Now let's discuss this. How we can purify. All right, verse 41 to 44. Krishna says here, what is that purification Brahmana? Natural qualities under the moat. First is Brahmana. Brahmana means they are peaceful, self-control, they are austere, they live an austere life, purity, pure life, tolerance, honest, they have a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Having knowledge is no big deal. Everybody can have more knowledge, but wisdom and also religiosity. Sorry for the spelling mistakes, right? Because I just, and religiosity. And all these things come under the mode of goodness. Kshatriya, the warrior, they have to have heroism, they have to have power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership. So these are the people in the mode of passion. Vaishya, the third class, that means they are the businessmen. They are, what perform they do? They perform farming, cow protection, and business. They perform mercantile job. They do business, buy and sell. So they are the people in the mode of passion and ignorance. Because you know why? They must have a lot of passion to go on doing the business, And the ignorance, because sometimes they open the shop maybe 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. Right? They're thinking that is everything. So ignorance. And Shudras. Shudras means the labor and those who serve others. Shudras. They are in the mode of ignorance. Okay. Now, this is the only thing that prescribed in Vedas, according to what is our ashram. Okay. So now, okay. Anyway, Varna. Varna means? Okay. So this is the Varna. Sorry, this is Varna. So we are all according to that mode of nature and we act accordingly. All right. Now let's look at 1848. Beautifully detached work. Okay. Sahajang karma kaunteya sadosam apina tyajet sarvarambahi doshena dume naknir iva vrta. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. This is very, very, very important for us to consider. We must understand, in this material world, all of us are in fault. Why? Because we have 4 imperfect senses. All right. We have a tendency to cheat. We have tendency to make mistake. We have tendency to be illusion. All right. And what is the next one? Mistake. And we have imperfect senses. We have these 4 tendencies. So with this imperfect kind of environment, when we are trying to attempt to do something, there will be always fault. That's why fault finding is one of the most terrible thing to do. How are we going to find a fault when we are at fault ourselves? All right. So what is our fault? We have imperfect senses. We have a tendency to make mistake. We have tendency to cheat. And what is the next one again? I forgot. Tendency to cheat.
Illusion.
Tendency to be illusion, yes. And we have tendency to be illusion. So with that imperfect tendency, when we are trying to attempt to do something, there'll be fault. So what Krishna gave, fantastic example. Whenever there's a fire, there will be covered by smoke. All right, in every endeavor is covered by some fault. So that means sometimes when we want to perform bhakti, when we think we are making mistake, it's really fine actually. Oh, I can't chant Hare Krishna. No, I do mistake. It's okay. Right? I'm trying to attempt to do bhakti, but the problem is I cannot give up eating meat. I cannot stop drinking alcohol. I can't do this. It's okay. In Krishna says, well, that you understand the 3 modes of material, the food and everything. You understand the mood first. You understand the rules first. Right? Sometimes when you want to go to Singapore, you have to learn some laws of Singapore. Is that you're going to become a lawyer in Singapore? Or is that you're going to practice, you're going to be a Singapore citizen? No. You cannot spit in Singapore. You'll be fine. You cannot take chewing gum to Singapore. You'll be fine. That's why they call Singapore is a fine country. Everything they fine you. Right? So we understand that. So we will behave ourselves. So to come to the level of behaving ourselves, it takes some little effort. If you're going to change overnight, yes, from now onwards, I'm going to do like this, you are faking yourself. Krishna himself said, by giving up that thought, but your mind still dwelling in that, you are a pretender. But that doesn't mean you can take your sweet time. Some say, yeah, okay, la Prabhu, then I take my own sweet time. No. You are expected to change. The changing process has to start. So how are you going to start changing the idea? So that's why I say when you get a higher taste, the mundane taste will leave you. Formerly, maybe you might have lived in an estate or some kampong or some wooden house. Now, after that, now you evolve into a brick house. Maybe you're staying in bungalow. You can sometimes go and visit your kampong. You can visit your estate and you can tell your children, see, this is how we live. And that's the well water we used to take and drink, cook and bathe. And to keep the well water, there's always a fish inside. They call Dewan Bandaraya fish to keep the well. Yeah, you drink that water. Yeah, those days we have to do like that. No. But now, can you go back to the same lifestyle? Cannot. I go back to the estate. I go, no, you can't take it because you're so used to it, because you evolved. So similarly, once you get a higher taste, the mundane taste will go away by itself. Like yesterday, that Namahat class I'm doing every Thursday, there's a girl, she said, I don't know, sir. Now I just don't have attraction to eat non-vegetarian food. Now I can smell the couchy smell. All the while she loves to eat that particular meat. All right. But yesterday she was telling, now when I take it, I can smell a kind of the stench. But it's a smell, I really can't take it. Why is this happening to me? I say, because you are recovering. Your nose is working. You're getting higher taste. So now what happened? He said, I really can't take it. That day she just bought and just put 1, 2, I threw it away. She couldn't take it. That's called higher taste. But we have to work for that higher taste. All right. So he said, one should not give up the work. You should not give up that activity, then born of his nature, right? That activity you should not give up. Okay. Because even the work is full of fault. Even its fault, go on performing it. It's very, very important. Okay. 51 to 53.
I have
Yeah.
a question about the previous
Sriram, I can't hear you.
Prabhu, I have a question about the previous slide that we discussed before this. The 4 categories, this one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like we know in Kali Yuga, like in all humans, like we mentioned, according like in material nature, in Kali Yuga, every human being has their a good side and their bad side, right? So
Yeah.
like so it means that the 3 modes of material nature is within a person. Is it like the 3
Speak
modes
to your
of
mic.
is it like the 3 modes of material nature is within a person for everyone?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
The
that's
3
my
mode.
question.
Okay, example, like just say a day. When you wake up early in the morning, you'll be in the mode of goodness. There's a time
Yes.
that you can pray and everything. Conducive time to pray. Right? Pray and do your chanting and everything. Then when the sun rises, it comes mode of passion. Where you go to work, you'll be actively involved. When the
Yes,
sun
Prabhu.
set, you come back home, it's slumber. You feel tired, you feel more relaxed, you don't feel like doing anything, you don't want to answer call. It's the mode of ignorance. Because eventually you go to bed.
Yeah, true.
So even in a day itself, we have these 3 modes combined. Okay.
Yeah.
So of course we have, but of course we have to work on this of going to the mode of goodness. But Krishna will say something else in the following chapter, verses. Right now,
Okay,
let's
Prabhu.
look at 51 to 53. So verse 51 to 53 says, being purified of his intelligence, by his intelligence. Okay. That means the purification from purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination. Okay. So we are getting our intelligence getting purified. How we purify intelligence? By studying Gita and all this. Okay. Our intelligence purified. And controlling the mind. How we can control the mind? With determination. No means no. That's it. This is what. Okay. Or sometimes when we want to do intermittent fasting, some fat people want to go thin, they would take intermittent fasting. They can stand. They said, yes, I only going to take lunch and nothing else in that 24 hours. So that's determination, right? But here it says, purify by his intelligence, controlling the mind with determination, giving up objects of sense gratification, right? All the sense gratification, giving up all their objects, and being freed from attachment and hatred, because attachment is always give problem. All right, attachment and hatred. One who lives in secluded place, that means in the forest, eats little, controls his body, mind and power. Mind and power of what? Power of speech. Sometimes when we get agitated, we just want to talk. No, sometimes an argument starts when two people, what is argument? When two people start to talk at the same time, right? One people talk and another one listen is debate. When two people start to talk, like how the snarl, like, like cats and dogs, both start, is quarrel, right? So that means when they think, that means it's like mind and power of speech. Control the power of speech. Always in trance. So what trance is this? It's not the trance we're talking about, like, when you get, like that, not that trance. Trance means you are in ecstasy. Okay. You are in a self, that means you're so much of ecstasy, right? Okay. And who is detached, free from false ego. That means I don't identify myself as an Indian, as a Malaysian, as this and that. And I and I don't have a free from false strength. Okay, false pride, lust, anger, acceptance of material thing, free from, okay, free from false proprietorship. Everything is mine. This is my property. This is mine. This is my family. This is mine. False proprietorship, and being very peaceful. Such a person certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. So this is the what the self-realized person are usually be. That means their intelligence is purified. They can control their mind, and how they control with determination, and they give up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment, hatred, lives in secluded place, eats little, control his body, mind, power, speech, always in trance, who is detached, free from false ego, free from false strength, false pride, lust, anger, acceptance of material thing, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. These are the symptoms of those who are self-realized. Okay. Now let's look at that. Okay, what does it mean? All right. But now in 854, Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prashanatma Nasho Chatti Na Kingshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desire to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Right? When one is transcendentally situated. All right. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. Okay, Madhya means the middle book. There's three pastime. And what Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, and the third one is what? Anti Leela. The final part, right? Antya Leela, all right. My memory is giving up. My God, Krishna. I need to take some. Anyway, so in Madhya Leela, chapter 19, text 151, he says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. What Krishna means? Lord Chaitanya says, out of many millions of wandering living entity. Please pay attention to this. This is very important. He says, out of many millions of wandering living entity. That means what? Out of, the word out of means among, the one who are among that millions of wandering living entity. What does it mean? We see all the living entities are wandering. No, sometimes when you stand from the building, you see that one car going that way, this car going this way, all, and you see the bird flying this way, then you see another ant will go this way. All are wandering around. They're just moving around, wandering. All right. Out of millions of wandering living entity, one who are very fortunate, okay, gets an opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master, and that also by the grace of Krishna. So what we can understand from this? Out of millions of wandering living entity, one who are very fortunate, if you are very, very fortunate, you get an opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. So Krishna, by the grace of, that means in other words, what you can understand from here, that all of you are here are the most fortunate one among billions and billions of people who are living in this world, or trillions and trillions of living entities that exist in this world, or trillions and unlimited living entities that dwells all over this universe. You are, yes, you are the most fortunate one. I'm not speculating. I'm just saying based on Madhya Lila. Now the question is, where is my spiritual master? Who is my spiritual master? I don't have spiritual master. I think some of you thinking that, right? Anyone thought about that? You thought so loud, I heard you.
Yes,
right?
Prabhu.
You thought about it. you thought too loud, I heard you, Prabhu. Anyway, just joking. Who is that bona fide spiritual master? When you look at the Bhagavad Gita, when you open, when you read through, all right, the text, dravyanya, staponyanya, right? Then you see that translation, and down there, the purport. That is that purport that Srila Prabhupada lives. All right. There is two ways that we can serve the spiritual master. Vani and Vapu. Vapu means the body. That means you go see him personally, talk to him, massage his leg and all this. Vani means you living through his instruction, Vani. So Srila Prabhupada lives forever in his book. All right. So now you have already got the first opportunity that you found a bona fide spiritual master in that Bhagavad Gita, through that Bhagavad Gita purport. Prabhupada is giving you instruction. The job of a spiritual master is to give instruction, not to give you suggestion, not to pacify you, not to counsel you. He's not a counselor. He's giving you instruction. Do this, do that, right? And that is what is happening in this purport. When you go on serve Srila Prabhupada is an eminent spiritual master, Jagat Guru. He will go on inspiring people for the next 10,000 years as predicted. This Bhakti movement, the Bhakti cult, will last 10,000 years. After that, it will disappear. Once the thing disappear, everything, the full-blown Kali Yuga will start. And now itself, things are so crazy. What happened when full-blown Kali Yuga? People will start to eat the human being. 5,000 years ago, when they say the Veda says that cows, which is sacred cow, will be slaughtered and be eaten. When they saw that, those days, 5,000 years ago, the sages fainted. They couldn't perceive the idea, a mother cow, the throat can be slithed and the fat and the body can be eaten. They're going to eat cow? I can't perceive that idea. They all fainted. Pow, where got such thing? And they even doubted, is this Veda really right or wrong? But today, it's such a common sight. When we go to the market, we go to that supermarket, we see the cow, the salon steak, and all this kind of part of the cow body, right? Now it's very common in every medicine comes with gelatin, bovine gelatin. It's very common, right? So similarly, the Vedas predicted after the Kali Yuga, full-blown Kali Yuga starts, the thing is people get shorter and shorter and shorter. Their lifespan is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, right? If you live up to 50, people live up to 50 years old. All right. And so a lot of things like girls come to age very, very fast. In a very young child, they'll come to age. All these kind of things start happening. All when the Kali Yuga get full blown. And it's also predicted in Kali Yuga, I think it's chapter 11, Canto 11 or Canto 12, the description of hellish, description of Kali Yuga. I think Canto 12, the last Canto, Bhagavatam. People will eat their own child. Cannibalism become norm. That means when I have my child, I don't have heart to kill it. So I'll exchange with my another guy. Do you have a child? I also got a child. Now I give you, how old is your child? 2 years old. Mine or 2 years old? Okay, now I give you my child, you eat my child, I give your child, I eat your child. They will kill their own children just to eat. You know, like what the cat does. If you see cat, once the cat delivers few kittens, it will eat the first one. The first kitten that he delivers, the cat will actually eat that kitten. All right, because last time we had a cat, we have seen. When I was young, we used to have a cat. My neighbor was a big time cat godmother. All right. When the cat delivers the first kitten, the mother cat will eat it for their own strength. And through that, she'll deliver more kitten. And after that, the others, she'll take care. So similarly like that. So human going to eat the human being, the children. So that's the thing. So that means, in other words, for the next 10,000 years, Srila Prabhupada is going to be our eminent spiritual master. And he's going to remain with us, going to give us instruction. All right. So after that, okay, that's the first grace of Krishna you got. But after you start to practice your bhakti very nicely, all right, then by the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, all right, such a person receives the seat of the creeper of devotional service. Okay, so that means after that, we will start to find, then through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, you will find your own spiritual master, your personal spiritual master. Like mine is Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Like Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu's Guru is Janananda Goswami Maharaj. So like that, we'll start to have our own gurus. We'll find our personal guru. Krishna and Prabhupada is there. And through their mercy, you receive the seat of creeper of devotional service. Why we call it creeper, not tree? Because it's like a creeper will take and guide, take you back home, back to God. All right. It's mentioned in CC. All right. Now, 1855. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvata tato mang tattvato nyatva vishatte tat anantaram. One can understand me as I am, Krishna says, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. All right. Other religion says you cannot understand God. God beyond your understanding, beyond your perception. But Krishna says, Bhaktya mam. Bhaktya means what? Devotional service. Mam means me. Abhijananti, you can understand. Yavan. Right? See, one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of God, as original, only by devotional service, not by theoretical language. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, that means devotion is also purify your consciousness. He can enter into the kingdom of God. All right. One who can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So Krishna gives that secret. Okay. That's why we are called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And this International Society for Krishna Consciousness is doing a big harvest. It's a huge factory, mass production, right, of creating devotees from all walks of life without checking their past birth, from which culture they born, what is their caste and creed. A devotee will never look into this caste, creed, background. He can be the most abominable criminal, right? It is one of the offense in chanting. It says that if you're going to check on his past, he can be whatever his past. So here in Hare Krishna, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we are purifying. There was a guy who's a big time veterinarian, right? All right. He's the one who approves that all the cows to be killed. When he heard about it, he gave up his job. And now he's one of the great devotee. He's in KL, Malaysia. He's a very old man now. It's very elderly devotee. All right. We have seen a person who from a background, a big time gangster. Like recently, I don't know whether you have seen or not, there was a death sentence inmate from Taiping prison, was released by the mercy of the king, by the pardon, the king's pardon. Right? He was just about to hang anytime. All right, he is the final thing. That means his hang date is finalized. But because of his good behavior, there's a devotee go to the prison and start preaching in Taiping. And he have taken up this bhakti very seriously. He chants his rounds, he study the Bhagavad Gita, and he became so detached. Okay, I think Rajina Mataji is here. Is she here, Regina Mataji? Okay, Rajina Suri Mataji. The daughter met him. All right, the daughter, right? So they all went to Mayapur together. Anyway, he was at a final moment and he found a spiritual master. He wanted an initiation. All right, he was taking initiation from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. He asked for an initiation. But the spiritual master, the Guru Maharaj told him, I will only give you initiation if you're going to appeal. But he said, how can I? I've done such a grievous murder. He murdered the whole family, right? He was supposed to be a theft, but in that theft, he killed the son, the mother, and the mate. And later I found out the person that he killed is my school junior, right? They are goldsmith, right? So he killed the whole family. He's supposed to be sentenced to death according to the Malaysian law. But what happened? He started to practice. He started to transform the entire prison. All the non-Muslim inmates, especially the Indian background, they start to go call to talk to them. This thing, they somehow, and until he became so fearless, and he was given a grant that he can walk. He was in a death row, but he can simply walk around and meet people and everything. He can simply walk into the warden office seat and talk to him. Such a devotee. Then what happened? The day that he was about to sentence, he knows. Then he told, your time is up. I think his initiative is Kripa Nidhi, right? Kripa Nidhi does. So he said, okay, your time is up. I think we're going to hang you in another week's time. He said, okay. He said, all right. But after that, he appealed, then he put in his appeal. Then after that, he just meditate on this thing because Guru Maharaj told him to appeal. He just simply saying, just days before his sentence, suddenly a letter came from the king of Malaysia that he got pardoned. Can you imagine? Just days before his execution, right? The warden called him up. He says, you know what? Tomorrow is your death sentence. He was joking with him. He said, tomorrow, you know what? Tomorrow we're going to hang you. He said, all right. Okay. I'm expected. I can't wait anymore because every day in anxiety, when I'm going to die, okay, tomorrow. After he said, aren't you afraid? I said, what am I to afraid? I'm not this body, After he said, no, actually, a pardon. Huh? Went to the court. The court says you have already served 30 years in prison. You are released on the spot. He was released on the spot. Can you see? Supposed to be death sentence. Then went to the court. He found out that you have already served minimum 30 years, maximum 30 years. You are released. And after that, after he got released, straight away he went to Mayapur, met his Guru Maharaj. And that time, Rajina Suri's daughter was there with him. All went to see his Guru Maharaj and see what the miracle happened. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is, this kind of purification happen. That means if one can understand as I am as the supreme, not only by devotional service. So in devotional service, we are not in ISKCON, we are not looking at your past, your credit. You can be a Chinese, you can be Indian, you can be a Red Indian, you can be Aborigine, you can be Orang Asli, right? Like one incident happened. There was an initiation ceremony in somewhere in Finland, right? In the Finland. And there's Indra Yamuna Maharaj and Giriraj Swami, both of them were there, Prabhupada disciple, giving initiation. So before the initiation, Giriraj Swami said, there's one young girl wanted to take initiation. And they asked, so he asked that girl, so tell me about your life. Who are you? Where were you from? And he said, Guru Maharaj, you know what? I born in the family of cannibal. Say, what? Cannibal? Yes. Because near the Finland, that area is there's a sea. What they call there's one sea, There's one sea, I forgot the name. The sea is always very rough. It's a rough sea, North Sea or something. So it's very rough. The sea is extremely rough. So my grandmother used to say, whenever there's a British or whatever, that when people are sailing in those days and everything, when the ship sank, the sea was so rough, they sometimes washed the body to the shore. All the body, you can see them on the shore. And these people and her family tradition, they used to eat them. They are from barbarian descendant. The girl is from barbarian, right? A Viking or barbarian, something like that. So they are cannibals. They eat human being. And she said, especially my grandmother used to say, the British eyeball is the tastiest of all. And hey, enough, stop it. Then after that, I said, oh, you are from that? He said, good. But imagine how did ISKCON, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, even a great cannibal has taken up seriously the way of bhakti. And she was eventually initiated by Giriraj Swami. So this is what we are saying, right? So what I'm saying is, that is that it's international. So we are creating a revolution. That this international society for Krishna consciousness is going and making a big, massive production line that just creating now the biggest sensation is China. The China is seeping into all the town and villages. There's a lot of devotees, Chinese devotees are becoming very enthusiastic. They are coming to Bhakti, and eventually it's happening. Now it's a big market boom for ISKCON is now China. Formerly it was Russia, now it's China, and also it's another place is starting is Japan. You know, when I was in Japan, I used to try to do, but today I'm so happy. There's a group of Matajis. You know, they used to, like, if you can even check on Facebook. So it's a big boom in Oriental country. People are accepting Bhakti. So there is no previous qualification required. And it's absolutely foolish or retarded mentality as a devotee when we start to see caste and creed. We are prohibited from seeing all this. Because we understand every person as a spirit soul. And they are living. That's why the educated person sees every person has the spirit of Krishna in them. And that is how we perform. So one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Right? There's even the reason Bhagavad Gita has been translated into Zulu language. Right? The Bhagavad Gita is even translated into Zulu. Right? There's a new Bhagavad Gita out. That means even the African tribes, the Zulu tribe, Zulu Kwai or something like that. Now it's translated. And I think that day I shared in the group, I think, in Ghana, all right? They went to that remote village, all the Aborigines, they were all chanting, all were dancing Hare Krishna and everything, spreading. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's mentioned here, Iti Changsa Kala Pumsha, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Indradi Vyakulam Lokam, Mruddhyanti Yuge Yuge. What it says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 28. All the above mentioned incarnation, that means they were explaining all that incarnation of Matsya Avatar, Narsinga Avatar, Rama Avatar, all the avatar, thousands of avatars, I mean, many avatars were mentioning. But after that, this is the conclusion of that chapter. It says, Iti Chamsa Kalapumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. All the above mentioned incarnation are either plenary portion or the portion of the plenary portion of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets. All of them appears on planets whenever there is a disturbance. So all the incarnations simply appear whenever there's disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect the theist. That means he comes to protect the theist and to destroy the atheist. So after 10,000 years, when the Kali Yuga become full-blown, when people start to eat their own children, people be killing in themselves and everything become poisonous, the whole environment become poison, people go crazy, the lifespan reduced to 50, and people can simply kill each other, and all the crazy things happen for the next 400, and because Kali Yuga will last for 432,000 years. So now 5,000 years has passed, so there's balance of 427,000 years. So after 427,000, we were starting from 417,000 year onwards, crazy things will happen until finally everything goes out of control. Then Krishna will come down in the form of Kalki and it destroys everything. So he will appear in the plan whenever there's a disturbance created by the atheist. And again, the new Yuga will start. So to understand this itself is something Krishnastu Bhagavan said. To understand this, you are the most fortunate one. Because there's always argument. Who is bigger, Narayana bigger or Krishna bigger? Oh, why not we just pray to Mahavishnu? Why? Because what I think we remember studying in Bhagavad Gita, what we have studied, can anyone tell me? Worship me in the form of Krishna. Which chapter is that? Chapter 9. I think chapter 9 or chapter 10. Krishna will be telling, worship me in the form of Krishna. Do you all remember that?
I think it's chapter 10, Prabhu.
Chapter 10, yes. So he says, worship me in the form of Krishna, because Krishna says, worship me in this form. All right. So how to understand Krishna in truth? That's another important question. The best thing is to, if you want to understand Krishna, then you have to take life of devotion under the guidance of spiritual master. Approach a guru. Read Bhagavad Gita and of course, through a devotee. If not this, you cannot understand Gita theoretically. Understanding Gita theoretically is just like licking the what they call? The honey jar. You take the jar of honey, you lick outside, you don't feel anything. Hey, why this honey? You say, sweet. You lick. Hey, no, you can't. You have to open and drink the honey. That's when you feel the real nectar. And the one who opens and gives you the nectar is a spiritual master and also devotees. Okay. So now, this is more confidential knowledge. All right. 1861 to 63 is more confidential knowledge. It says, Ishvara sarva bhutanang hriddeshe arjuna tistati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani mayaya tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva e bhavena bharata tat prasadat parang shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhya tarang maya Vimshriyaitat asheshanna yate chasi tata kuru. What he says, the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna. So Krishna is in everyone's heart. And is directing the wandering living entity. So he's directing all of us who are seated on as a machine. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hiriddesi Arjuna tistasi. Okay, now. Yantra. Yantra means what? Yantra rudani. Yantra means machine. Okay, so he's directing all living energy just like a seated on a machine made of material energy. That means this machine is made of material energy. Imagine 5,000 years ago, they were talking about machines, yantra. Oh, sign of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. Surrender to him immediately. Just utterly, just use your utterly surrender to him immediately. Don't waste time. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. So now, my dear Prabhus and mothers, what you can think of now, before you think about going back home, back to Godhead, going this, but today you are hungry, right? Yes, tomorrow I'm going for a wedding and I'm going to have a big feast, all right? Or tomorrow there's a festival, I'm going to temple, I'm going to have a big feast. You know, we're going to have 16 items. They're going to serve you in a big banana leaf with all 16 varieties of food, which is chewable, which is suckable, which is relishable, with all these things. Yes, huge. I'm going to have a big feast tomorrow. But the problem is today I'm hungry. Right? I'm hungry today. What can I do? So similarly, you're going back home, back to Godhead, you're doing this. Okay, all that later, fair enough. But today we need peace of mind. Today I need peace of mind. I am so stressed out. I'm so frustrated. I can't take it anymore. I feel like committing suicide. I'm feeling life sucks. So what Krishna says here? Surrender unto him utterly. And by his grace, you'll attain transcendental peace. We are not talking about mundane peace. Transcendental peace. That peace that comes from inside you. And what is a transcendental bliss? Peace? We call it as bliss. The feeling that cannot be described. Just like if I were telling you, how does sugar taste like? Say like, I've never eaten sugar in my life. You're going to describe to me. How are you going to describe? Sugar is sweet. Yes. How does it look like? Well, you know, sweet. You put in your mouth. If you, what? So what do? Open your mouth. Nah, throw the sugar inside. Nah. Oh, this is what sugar. Experiencing it. All right. The real effect of you in bhakti is going back home, back to Godhead. But the side effect of bhakti is extreme peace of mind. You see your face will start to change. Your face start to glow. You feel more relaxed and calm and composed. You know, that is money cannot buy. Thus, I have explained to you knowledge which is still more confidential. So if Krishna says, this is more confidential, then Krishna says, deliberate on this fully. That means think about it. And then do what you wish to do. Yate chasi tata kuru. Do what you want to do. What does that mean? Krishna respects our minute independence. We all have independence. But of course, independence is so small, minute. And Krishna doesn't want to get involved in our independence. That's why Krishna says, do as you like. So you have a choice of not accepting this.
Prabhu, you said the independent is small, but I feel even our parents also don't give us the freedom like God gives us.
Yeah. So what we are saying is, so we have that minute independence, and Krishna says, do as you like, because Krishna giving you that independence to choose. I choose to go back home, back to Godhead, or I choose, I still want to enjoy my senses. And I got independence, say that I've already studying Bhagavad Gita, I've learned Bhagavad Gita, and now I'm going to take up Bhagavad Gita. I would like to go to heaven and enjoy myself. It's all your decision. Krishna is not going to get involved. What Krishna have said, he have already said. But the decision you make. That's why Krishna says very clearly, Vam rishtai tat asheshena yatte chasi tata kuru. Deliberate on this fully. And then do what you wish to do. Because when the God speaks, God gives you option. When you look at any other scripture, you can't find all these things. They're only going to make you scared. Going to hell, they're going to fry you, they're going to boil you, they're going to do this, do that, if you're not in this religion, you're going to, all that, no, God has no time for all that. God gave you the highest form of knowledge, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. All right? And 64, Krishna says, Sarva Guhya Tamang Bhuya. Sarva Guhya. Sarva Guhya means what? All. Sarva means everything. Guhya means secret. So, Sarva Guhya Tamang Bhuya Shrinu me Paramang Vacha Ishtosi me Dardam Iti Tato Vakshyami Te Hitam. Because, Krishna says, because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction. Okay? And what is that supreme instruction? The most confidential knowledge. Already we are listening to all the confidential knowledge. But now he's saying, because you are my very dear friend, now what I'm going to tell you is my supreme instruction. Why? Because Arjuna have accepted Krishna as his guru. Now he's going to give the supreme instruction. And that instruction is the most confidential of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. And what he says, now this is very inspiring verse. Manmana bhavamat bhakto matyaji mang namaskuru mam evashyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Please take photo of this. All of you, please take photo, snapshot. Please keep it. Whenever you're down, read this again and again and again. If you think one verse that you want to really memorize, please memorize this verse. Manmana bhavamat bhakto matyaji mang namaskuru mam evasyashi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Manmana bhavamat bhakto matyaji mang namaskuru mam evasyashi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. What Krishna says. Always think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. But the thing that is going to be the most mind-blowing, okay, the most exciting part is this. Okay, I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So, dear mothers, Prabhus, what Krishna is actually saying, God is giving you promise. Tell me, which literature you can find this promise? In every literature, they say there is a promised land, the land of paradise. You will go there. But Krishna says this very clearly. Evam evas. Mam evashyashi satyam. In Tamil, we call satyam means what? Promise, right? Satyama Sule? Promise. Evam evi satyam te. I promise you this. So, what else can we think of or aspire for? I promise you this. Because you're my very dear friend. A very simple process of attaining the highest form of liberation, of going back home, back to Godhead, to be his personal associate. How? Think of me, become my devotee. Krishna wants that. He wants you to become a devotee. Mat yajimam namaskurum, namaskaram, namaskuru. Right? Mam eva shashi. No man manabhav mat bhaktu. All right? Become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage. You, whatever you eat, whatever you do, even the job that you do, everything offer it to Krishna. Like we got a girl, the previous batch, she's a medical student. Right? She's telling, whatever, what do you call that, thesis, whatever, you just offer it to Krishna. And she said, Prabhu, I'm having fantastic peace of mind. As a medical student, my life I supposed to go through some terrible stress. But now I don't care. I simply offer everything to Krishna. Krishna, I'm just doing this to you. Whatever result is up to you. Right? Offer your homage unto me. And Krishna says, you will come to me without fail. There's nothing to doubt about it. You definitely will go back to him. And after that, Krishna says, Mam Satyam Te, I promise you. I promise. Krishna giving you the promise. So what else you can think of? All right. This is going to be very interesting. Then after that, you worship me, you do all this, you come to me. I promise you this. Then after that, Krishna says something else. What he says? It's a very simple process, right? Become my devotee, think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage to me. Very simple, only 4 simple process. But this process, don't get confused. So after that, Krishna, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. Ahang Tam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ishyami Ma Chuchaha. What is it? Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Sarva Dharman. Sarva, all varieties of religion. Sarva. Sarva means all. Dharma. Dharma means religiosity, practice, whatever. All right. Ekam. Ekam means only one. And ek, when you put in front, only me alone. Ekam. Sharanam. Surrender. All right. So abandon all varieties of religion. Krishna says. And just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So what is that? All varieties of religion. The religion of materially motivated, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Or any religious practice. Because Krishna is giving you the ultimate practice. That's why because Arjuna had so many ideas. Brahman, the illusion, how these, that's why Krishna says, look here. Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mam Ekam, only me, Ekam, Sharanam, surrender. All right? Surrender. Sharanam means surrender. Braja. Aham Tvam, Aham, me, Tvam, Sarva Papa. Sarva means all varieties. Papa means sins. So all varieties of sins, Sarva Papebi, Mokshyami. Right? You, this thing. So he says, I will abandon all varieties of this. Also, you can take short if you want to, or just mark your book. You can read the purport. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. And Krishna says, do not fear. So the purport is like, Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam, rakshishaititi vaishvaso, gopi tritve varanam tata, atma nikshepe karpanye sa vida sharanagatihi. So in the surrendering process, what is the surrendering process? One should accept things favorable for discharging devotional service. Right? You must accept things which is favorable. Reject unfavorable. Always believe firmly in the Lord's protection. We must always have think, yes, Krishna will protect me. Feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. You will never believe. Try it and see. At least as a scientific research, try it and see. Just depend on Krishna and see how Krishna reciprocates to you and how Krishna takes care of you. Have no interest separate from the interest of the Lord. That means all my interest is only dovetail to Krishna. And number 6, always feel oneself meek and humble. All right, that's the purpose. So 68, 69. Okay, now this is another interesting thing. Then after that, Krishna says, you've already, all these are confidential part of the thing he's telling. 68, 69, what Krishna says, for one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. So whenever you go and talk to people, come, why not we meet up? I learned something in Bhagavad Gita, you're going to speak to someone. All right? Krishna says, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And another thing he says, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be ever one more dear. So that means when we distribute Bhagavad Gita, when we're going to put Bhagavad Gita in someone's hand and says, please read, you are Krishna's most dearmost servant. And he says there's no servant, it can be even more dearer than those who are going to explain the supreme secret. But how long can you go on explaining? So simply put a Gita in someone's hand and encourage them. Just read this book. So one who has taken birth, all right? So then that's 68 and 69. And 73. All right? After listening to all these things, now Arjuna started to speak. He was awe-founded. He was like so excited. He says, Arjuna vacha nastamoha smritir labda tvat prasadan maya chuta stitosmi gata sandeha. Sandeha. In Tamil, what they call sandeha? Karishye vachanam tava. Sandeha in Tamil we call sandegam. All right? Sandegam. That means our doubt. Na sandegam apakara sandegam sandeha. In Sanskrit we call sandeha. So nastamoha smritir labda tvat prasadan maya chuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, oh infallible one, my illusion is now gone. My illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instruction. Now Arjuna says, now I will do whatever you say. All right. So this is the last verse of Gita. What then? Now Sanjaya. Imagine for Sanjaya start to speak. Sanjaya is giving instruction. I mean, he's talking to who? Dhritarashtra. At last, after seeing all this, in Sanjaya was all founded and all this, he said, Sanjaya vacha yatra yogeshvaro Krishno yatro partho danurdaraha tatra shrir vijayo bhutir dhruva nitir matir mama yatra yogeshvara Krishna yatra partho danurdara tatra shrir vijayo bhutir dhruva nitir matir mama. We repeat again. Yatra yogeshvaro Krishna yatra partho danurdara tatra shrir vijayo bhutir dhruva nitir matir mama. What Krishna says? What Arjuna Sanjaya is telling? He's making a declaration. He's making a proclamation. He's declaring and proclaiming it very loudly. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, Danurdara, supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. That is the conclusion Sanjaya made. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. And where can you find Krishna? The supreme mystic, master of all mystic. Where can you find Arjuna, the supreme archer? Where? Only in Bhagavad Gita. Okay? You can only find them in this book Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna and Arjuna are sitting and discussing. That's why whoever worships this Bhagavad Gita, whoever reads this Bhagavad Gita, whoever kept the Bhagavad Gita with you, wherever you go, you take the Bhagavad Gita with you, travel with Bhagavad Gita, you keep the Bhagavad Gita in your glove box. Before you start your session, you take the Bhagavad Gita, read. Whenever you're stuck in the jam, you read Bhagavad Gita. Always carry the Bhagavad Gita. Don't leave your house without Bhagavad Gita. Right? When you're troubled, when you think your house something is not right, you take the Bhagavad Gita, you read any house that they keep the Bhagavad Gita, wherever, there will be always opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. Now you'll understand why I'm telling you, don't leave your house without Bhagavad Gita. And each and every one of you must own a personal Bhagavad Gita. When you have a Bhagavad Gita, the entire place of pilgrimage is there. Remember, we read that. The entire pilgrimage, the whole universe lives in Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna says, I rule the world, I create all the creative energy, everything, through the understandings, through the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna says, just by reading Bhagavad Gita and discarding all Vedic literature is sufficient, because this Bhagavad Gita alone going to take you home back to Godhead. And looks like among all the Shastras, Krishna loves Bhagavad Gita the most, because here he spoke himself. So take the commitment, RDC formula, read Bhagavad Gita, distribute Bhagavad Gita, and chant Hare Krishna. With that, we end the session. Thank you so much. Is there any questions, any comment? Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhu, I completely understood the
Yes, Krishi?
session today. It was great. I feel really satisfied that I joined this Gita Gyan session with you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And thank you so much, everyone. Everyone did ask questions that really beneficial for me as well. So thank you, everyone.
All thanks to go to Anadi Jagannath Prabhu.
Hare
He is the
Krishna.
child of this program.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Any other questions, any comment, any reflection? All good? Why suddenly no sound? All of you are in ecstasy? Mesmerized? Hope not
Yeah,
confused.
it's great, it's very
Hope not
great.
confused. Telling you, I'm telling you that nothing like Bhagavad Gita, right? Nothing like Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is such a powerful book, powerful tool, and it basically solves all our problems. So 18 days went through so fast. Oh, that's a question. Rusan Mataji, Buddhists can accept women sannyas. Yes, because in Buddhism, the women sannyasi simply sit and meditate, right? They sit in one corner and meditate. But here, but the real sannyasi is the one who take up the service and go out and preach. They travel, they meet so many people. Sannyasi is the people who don't have any one place to stay. They don't have a proper residence, right? In Sanskrit, they call like paradesi. Paradesi means what? Para means many. Desi means cities. So they don't stay in one place. They travel around. They travel all around the world and go and this thing. So for that reason, women won't be conducive.
But
Okay.
Prabhu, I want to ask, actually, women can undergo Vanaprastha, but in the terms of going to temples like that with their
Husband.
protector, right? Like, for example, husband or any children who
Son.
wish to meet
Yeah.
them at that time. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu.
Because women are never given freedom forever. They have to look, like the grandchildren. The father will tell, hey, you don't bring your son to the house, okay? I want a peace of mind. But what the grandmother will do? No. If you tell the husband, if you don't want, I go to the house and look after them. That is what mother, the beauty of what mother. Skanda Prabhu, thank you very much. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. You're most welcome. Arup Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the knowledge and guidance. All right. How do you all feel? Any transformation? You feel good? So I hope that, wow, 18 days is gone. Batch 2 is finished. So this is beautiful moment. Yes, Prahlad Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So this was a very wonderful session here, Prabhu. Hearing it once more that the reminder is there, you went through it there, the benefits of studying Bhagavad Gita. Krishna states here that one who studies this sacred literature, he actually worships the Lord with his intelligence, and thus you have helped all of us once more
Yes.
to worship him by our buddhi, our mind, our intelligence. Haribol.
Yes. Very nice, Prabhu. Haribol. So, one small request. Please go on reading the Bhagavad Gita. Don't feel like I have already understood Bhagavad Gita. No. We are just spoke on the synopsis, the summary. So, starting from tomorrow or today, go and read your Bhagavad Gita, and especially the purport. Read that purport one by one, very religiously, right? So you can still discuss in the group, and I will. So if you have any questions, any comment, you can still ask in the group. But of course, please do me a favor. On the 7th October, there's a new session starting. I know that all of you are very excited. These kind of feelings that many people are wanting to have. So the Gita is going to be a great transformation program. So please promote the program, encourage many people to come and join. It's going to be the next another 18 days. And all of those of you, if you want to join, you can still join back again. Like Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu is there. Skanda Prabhu also now is the second round. Then Chong Prabhu is second round. I see Mataji, I think so many rounds. She's been following me for the last 2 years. She used to follow all my classes. And then who else? Yeah. Rajina Devi Mataji also, I think, is I think another 2 or 3 rounds. I mean, also we follow me. So, so we take a break of 7 days and we start back on 7th of October. Okay. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, any comment, anything that you want to talk or what, just can send me a message. I love to serve all of you. All right. I've taken this vow to serve all devotees. So please engage me in your service. Don't feel bad, guilty. Sometimes if I don't, but please WhatsApp me first because sometimes I'll be busy, engaged with something else. And I don't carry my phone often. So sometimes when you call me directly, I may not can get me. So just send me a WhatsApp. I see, I'll give you a call back. All right. So the second round, the third batch will be Santi Samantha Mataji and also Rusan Mataji will be joining that. And of course, Rusan Mataji asked for a Chinese translation. So she triggered that idea and I spoke to a few. So hopefully, maybe in another couple of months, we can create a Chinese version of Gita Gyan program. All right, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. Okay. So anyway, if I've in this course of 18 days, if I've said anything offending, if I've offended anyone, kindly forgive me. Maybe just with the flow of words. I'm also such a fool. Sometimes I can't control my senses. I might have made a mistake. Kindly forgive me. And whatever opinion that I spoke here is basically what I've heard from my spiritual master and also Srila Prabhupada. And I just simply repeat what I've heard. Okay. But maybe the way that I present it can be with some flavors. All right. So kindly forgive me if any shortcoming. So till then, we'll meet again on the 7th. And all of you are still welcome to join the next one. I had an amazing time. Forgive me for the classes I missed. I will sure to be attend them on the third intake in just my no problem at all. No problem at all. Right.
It was a great journey, Prabhu. I really loved it. Thank you so much. It
So
was
please
like
tell all
all
your
perfect for me.
no. But please tell all your college mate, your polytechnic mate, all to join.
Sure, Prabhu.
There's one girl who came halfway, but I think she's not here anymore. From Batugaja.
Yeah.
Okay. And please do tell them it's going to be in English, because some people thinking it's going to be Tamil. I'm not so good in Tamil. I can speak Tamil, but not very fluent, like presenting. So please do
Yeah,
tell
it's
them it's going to
hard.
be English. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubevacha paditanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Let's chant Hare Krishna 3 times. All of you can unmute yourself. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Om, that's it. Gauranga.
Gauranga.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna everyone.
Thank you so
Hare
much.